I'm almost positive, though, we're not going to have the same order for this one. The AFC
Didn't,
West.
didn't you just say that before this one?
I said I was pretty sure. This one, I'm about 99% sure we're not going
Okay.
to have the same.
All right.
Um, I mean, let's start off with the Super Bowl champs, the Denver
Yep.
Broncos. Peyton Manning riding off into the sunset. Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP. All good and well. Let's go back to reality now.
Yep.
Their starting quarterback is Trevor Siemian. Apparently, they wanted to re-sign C.J. Anderson. Um, yeah, I mean, where am I going wrong here?
Can
What's
there be any more of a disappointing offseason for a Super Bowl winner than what the Denver Broncos just had? I mean, Peyton Manning did not play well last year. I mean, that by any means. And I'm not going to take that away from them. I mean, they overcame the inability at quarterback to win games with their defense, and they're going to have to do the same. But the only problem is their offense is going to be so atrocious that they're going to need to win games 6-0 because
right?
their kicker is going to be their MVP. I mean, that's just the world that the Denver Broncos live in right now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because Demaryius Thomas is an absolute stud.
And Emmanuel Sanders.
And Emmanuel Sanders is a great slot wide receiver. They have pieces. The problem is you have Simeon playing quarterback, who up until this offseason, I don't think even sniffed a starting position in the NFL. The guy that he beat out was Mark Sanchez. I mean, come on, guys. I get you didn't want to throw the big money at Brock Osweiler, but you're telling me that you couldn't have called Ryan Fitzpatrick or anybody
or
else?
the San Francisco 49ers?
Right. I mean, yeah, this just...
I mean, I honestly, when I heard they didn't get Osweiler back, I thought it was only a matter of time before they were going to get Colin Kaepernick. At least give them a quarterback who has experience in the playoffs and actually made it to a Super Bowl. Right now with Trevor Siemian, it's not good because they have a great defense. They've invested so much money in this defense, especially now with Von Miller's contract. And we're gonna start to see DeMarcus Ware get up in age. We're gonna see Aqib Talib get up in age. Same thing with T.J. Ward. Chris Harris is in his prime. So it's really disappointing to see that really their two most important positions on offense are being squandered.
Right, and who's replacing Danny Trevathan? I mean, I think he's been the team leader in tackles for the past 2 or 3 years.
I mean, they have Brandon Marshall, so
okay. But the one thing I was looking at, and they were talking about this so-called Super Bowl hangover for the loser of the Super Bowl.
Right.
Teams not getting back to the playoffs.
I mean,
and
that's kind of been more or less like turned over. It's not the same.
Right. I think that if either of the teams that we saw last year in the Super Bowl,
right, it's going to be the Broncos.
It's definitely going to be the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos could be so bad this year, we could be talking about a top 10 pick for them in next year's draft. Now, like I said, if they're going to win games, it's going to have to be 6-9, 14-0.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see where the offense is going to come from. And the disappointing part is they're going to face teams like an Oakland Raiders who are going to be able to come in there and throw the ball around and be able to run the ball and play defense just as good as they will. And that's going to be a real testament to see where this Denver Broncos team is going, and if John Elway's decision-making ends up being something that costs the Broncos in the short term here in terms of their near future success.
I'm gonna ask it. How many wins do they get?
I really want to say under 500 here, but coming off of a Super Bowl, it's hard. It really is. Coming off of a Super Bowl, I don't want to say a team's going to go under 500, but I mean, I'm looking at their their schedule right now. And I mean, you got Carolina, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Oakland twice, Jacksonville, New England. You know what? I'm gonna make 6.
I have them winning 4 games. So.
Now, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Do they sweep the San Diego Chargers?
No.
Okay.
No, I think they're gonna split with the Chargers.
Okay. Because that's where I see them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I really see them with the San Diego Chargers fighting for that bottom spot.
All right. I think we're close to agreeing with that. We'll see it in the order later, but let's talk about the other team that made the playoffs last year, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they had a good first game, won 30-0, but it was against the Houston Texans, and then I believe they lost to the Patriots in the second game. Old faithful Andy Reid always seems to get his teams to make the playoffs. Alex Smith has been consistent. He's not a fantasy football quarterback, but he's consistent. Their running back situation was a little different with Jamal Charles, mostly hurt. They had I don't know how you say his first name, Chinarek West.
Oh yeah. Chinarek.
Yep. And as always, their wide receiver situation is crap. But their defense is good. With Tom Ali and Justin Houston. Go ahead.
With the wide receiver situation, don't forget they do have Jeremy Maclin.
Now,
if Maclin stays healthy, he can be a 1,000-yard wide receiver for them. That's the only thing.
I don't think he's a number 1 receiver.
He's their number 1.
He is their number 1. I don't think he is a number 1 quality receiver.
Oh, I mean,
I don't think he is one of the top 32 receivers in the league. I'll say that.
Okay. I can agree with that statement, but I think he still has the ability to top 1,000 yards. I mean, he did it in
yes.
Philly,
Yeah. He is their best receiver on the team, so he will get 1,000 yards. But that's not saying much right now. That's not saying much.
No. I completely agree with you there. I think, as you said, Andy Reid, you know what Andy Reid's going to do. Alex Smith is about as consistent can be right now. The Chiefs won 11-5 last year. I don't expect much to change. I think that they will be in that same boat again, 11-5, 10-6. Getting Jamal Charles back is going to be huge, especially to try to open up their passing game, as you definitely are going to have to worry about Jamal Charles just gashing you down the field. And their defense is really, really good. Shout out Eric Murray, drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs, Riverside alum. But yeah, I think they're going to be in the same boat, 11-5 or 10-6 with a wild card berth.
They also, don't forget, they also have Marcus Peters, who I think is going to be a big candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. So I have them winning 10 games. So we're about in the same boat. I think they will make the playoffs. Let's go with the Oakland Raiders. Jack Del Rio in his second season with the team, as well as Amari Cooper, who had a very good rookie year. And his quarterback, Derek Carr. A lot of people like him. And their defense, adding a lot of pieces. They got Bruce Irvin now. Alden Smith will be back. And, not to even mention Khalil Mack, who was the first player ever to get first-team All-Pro in the same season in 2 different positions, defensive end and outside linebacker. He's fantastic. What do you think about the Raiders, possibly Las Vegas Raiders soon?
I'm looking at their schedule, and the Raiders will win this division. They can win 11 or 12 games this year. I mean, they start out in New Orleans, Atlanta, Tennessee, Baltimore, San Diego. 5 very winnable games for them. We talked about Jacksonville being kind of in the same position as the Raiders were last year. They have Tampa Bay, who's an up-and-coming team. Jacksonville and Tampa Bay are kind of those 2 young teams who could take that next step. we already talked about Denver. We talked about Houston. Carolina, you can chalk that up as a loss. They can beat Buffalo. They can split with Kansas City. They should be able to sweep San Diego. Indianapolis at the end of the year, who knows? And again, Denver, who we talked about being struggling. I mean, they can win 10. They can win 11 or 12 games this year. It's very doable with the young talent that they have, and they just continue to get better every year.
So I think we're gonna have the same order because I have them winning the division. I have them going 11-5, actually. I think for the last 2 years, at least last year, people started talking about the Raiders, mentioning them. They made it pretty far into the season. They were 7-9. I think they were finally eliminated after week 16. But I think this is the year where everything lines up for them because they were third in the division. Therefore, they're facing the third teams in every AFC division, which is great for them because they don't have to go against Pittsburgh or Cincinnati. Or of course, no, they're not playing the Patriots, or are they? Maybe I can't remember which division they're going against in the AFC.
No Patriots.
Okay, no Patriots. That's good. I really like the Raiders. I think they're my surprise team, if you want to say, to make the playoffs. And I think they're going to be hosting a playoff game for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I completely agree with that. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about them. I mean, they're hot. Right. They got all the young talent right now, and they just continue to get better. And I think they have the right guys in place leading the charge. Jack Del Rio is an incredible coach. He did wonders in Jacksonville, did great things for the Jaguars, and then was the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. And just
Yep.
They got the right guy. That's for sure.
I mean, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that Super Bowl win too, even though he wasn't on the team.
Right.
Now, the Chargers.
Yep.
San Diego Chargers, maybe Los Angeles Chargers soon. We'll see.
Maybe.
The Chargers are an interesting.
Can I ask you a question quick?
Yeah.
I heard that they apparently signed some guy named Joey Bosa a couple of days ago.
Oh boy.
I mean, was that a draft pick or something? This is a little late to be signing guys.
Well, and it seemed like he got a pretty big bonus, all of which is guaranteed. So, I mean, if you can earn $25 million for not showing up to work for 4 weeks, sign me up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. No, that was not a good situation at all for them, and it really makes me question why the Chargers. We've seen this situation before happen so many times. Obviously, with Eli Manning, he basically said, "Hey, San Diego, you can draft me. I'm not playing for you guys," and Joey Bosa held out for so long. His agent gave this huge essay on his Facebook page saying, how the Chargers have been, disrespectful to them. His mom even said Bosa should pull a Eli, but he's back now. Apparently Mike McCoy says he's in good shape. I think we can only take that with a grain of salt. But as for their veteran pieces, Phillip Rivers. I really like Phillip Rivers. He's had some really good seasons, but I don't know. I like him. I do like him though, and I think Keenan Allen might have a pretty good season.
If he can stay healthy.
Exactly, and Antonio Gates is kind of going towards the end of his career now. Might be his last season. We'll see. And just being a really tough division, I don't know. I think they're a good team, but I don't think the playoffs is really an option.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go in the opposite way of you here by saying they're a good team. I think it's hard to be a bad team in a good division. Wins are going to be extremely hard to come by. I'm not even going to give them credit to say that they're a good team. Do they have a couple of pieces? Yes, but Phillip Rivers is mid-30s. He's not getting younger.
You don't think Melvin Gordon's gonna have a bounce back year? He's had a pretty good preseason.
They have a couple of pieces that are going to get them in the right direction, but that still doesn't make them a good team. I think that they have the potential to lose a lot of blowout games. There is a chance that they just go in and they stink up the joint. Their defense is awful. I mean, Manti Te'o has, I think, exceeded a lot of people's expectations after the way that he came into the draft with everything that was going on with him. He's been playing very, very well.
I mean, he's pretty much started his entire career so far.
Yeah. So, I mean, they did, and like Keenan Allen, I love Keenan Allen. I thought he was a great pick for them. And he has been good for them when he plays. The problem is he needs to be on the field in order to play. But, I mean, outside of a couple of guys, the Chargers don't have much of anything right now. They have done a very, very poor job trying to rebuild, and I just don't know if they know what direction they're heading in. I think they're banking on moving out of San Diego and trying to do some splashy things wherever it is they are next.
I think maybe even when they move to Los Angeles, they change everything up. New coach, new quarterback, new everything.
Yeah, I mean, and that's very possible the way that this team is headed because not too long ago we were watching Phillip Rivers, in the AFC Championship game as they lost to the Patriots, and now, I mean, they can't even buy a win.
Right.
It has just gone straight downhill at top speed for the San Diego Chargers.
I have them winning 7 games.
Okay, you have it better than I do.
Okay, but let me just ask you a question, because it might just be because I'm a Packers fan, but why on God's green earth did they cut James Jones? That by far and away, he's their second best receiver on their team. With Stevie Johnson, and why doesn't James Jones get any respect? I don't get it.
The reason he does not get respect is because when he has played outside of Green Bay, he has not done anything.
He had a pretty good season with the Raiders. He had over 70 catches.
He has not performed to the same level.
He only played one season without the Packers.
And I believe, that season was, because the year before...
He had like 70 catches that year.
Didn't he lead the league in touchdowns the year before?
No.
Then he left?
No. He led it in 2012. In 2013, he had a season. It was okay. I mean, 2013, really, that was Jordy's big year. 2014,
he had 70 catches for 666 yards. He had an under a 10-yard per reception average, which is awesome, considering that a lot of your routes are going to be run downfield. And he had 6 touchdowns, which is considered, I mean, looking at his career numbers, is kind of adequate. I mean, it's about average for him. His average touchdowns per season look to be about 6.5-ish. But when you compare that to seasons where he's averaging, like last year.
James Jones doesn't get any respect, and I'm just going to end it right there. So.
All right. We'll see what he does this year. If he can get 70 catches...
He's a free agent right now, though.
Oh, I thought you just said that he was on the Chargers.
They cut him. That's why I'm complaining about this.
Oh, the Chargers cut him.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about why the Packers cut him and let the Chargers sign him.
No.
Oh.
He's their second... He was their second best receiver behind Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. So, anyways, I have the Raiders winning. I have the Chiefs number 2. I have the Chargers 3rd and Broncos 4th.
I will flip the Broncos. And
okay,
Chargers.
Just so we don't have the same.
No.
No.
Okay. So we don't have the same. All right. That is what I believe.
So you have them winning 5 games, Chargers?
In that range, I don't know if they'll be any better than 4-12. To be honest, I mean.
Okay. All right.
I don't think that they've improved all that much. to
Okay.
really have a difference in record.